sister-in-law tried to wear same dress on my wedding day which I was wearing, so I had my sweet petty revenge. I'm 26 and from India, where arranged marriages are common and families have a significant influence on the wedding. My family set me up with a 30-year-old man. We talked, liked each other, and everything was set for our engagement and wedding. As per our tradition, the groom's family is responsible for buying everything for the bride, including the wedding dress, jewelry, and even footwear. A month before my engagement, the groom's family took me shopping for my engagement dress and jewelry. This included my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, let's call her Karen, and my other sister-in-law, let's call her Susan. I wanted to get a saree for my engagement because it's versatile and I could wear it on other occasions as well. I had a beautiful saree in mind which I showed them. However, both Karen and Susan wanted me to buy a lehenga instead. They explained that since they got married during COVID, they had to settle for a saree due to the limited availability of items. When it came to making the decision, I chose to talk directly to my mother-in-law, who is kind and understanding. She agreed with me, told both Karen and Susan to be quiet, and bought everything I liked. What really annoyed me was that Karen was taking pictures of everything I bought, but I decided to ignore them and not let it ruin my mood. On the day of my engagement, I was horrified to see that both Karen and Susan were wearing the exact same saree that I was wearing. Not only that, but they also had the same jewelry, shoes, and similar hairstyles. And everyone from their side joked about how they couldn't decide who was the real bride. They insisted on taking pictures with me, which I felt I couldn't refuse without seeming rude. They even posted those pictures on Instagram with the caption, "Let's see if you can tell which one is the bride." It was clear that they had ruined my day. When it was time for wedding dress shopping, I asked my fiancé to join me. He agreed, but to my surprise, Karen and Susan came along as well. While I was focusing on different outfits for various functions, Karen began taking pictures of everything I shortlisted. Knowing what was likely to happen next, I decided to play along with a bit of mischief. I started selecting the most hideous dresses available. Both Karen and Susan were shocked and tried to convince me to buy the dresses they liked, but I ignored them to maintain my peace. As expected, they continued taking pictures of everything. When it came to altering the dresses, I asked if I could come back the next day to give my measurements. The shop agreed, and I returned with my fiancé to change every dress back to what I originally liked. The shop allowed it since the dresses hadn't yet been altered, and I ended up buying slightly more expensive ones. On the wedding day, both Karen and Susan wanted to see my wedding look before the ceremony, but I instructed my sister not to let anyone into my room. As I walked down the aisle, I noticed Karen and Susan were red-faced. During the ceremony, they complained to everyone present that I had gone behind their backs and returned everything they had bought for me, which ruined their plans for matching outfits and nice family pictures. While some people agreed with them, most were on my side. The best part was at the reception. Karen and Susan wore neon evening gowns, while I wore a beautiful golden lehenga. They looked like radium stickers compared to me, and were visibly angry. Karen began shouting at my mother-in-law and my husband, accusing them of being brainwashed by me, and claiming that we had planned to make them look foolish at her brother's wedding. Susan, along with her girls who were also wearing matching outfits, left the reception early. My father-in-law, mother-in-law, and brother-in-law all supported me, believing this was just a miscommunication. However, I knew the real reason behind my choices. During the reception, everyone was talking about how foolish Karen and Susan were for trying to match their outfits with the bride.